Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes, you are audible.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Prabhu, actually, these people are completing level 2 course. So, is it possible that you can you share that link where these people can register for level 3?
Yeah, sure, Mataji. I have received the link and I'll share it. Do you want to share it right now or in the group,
Yes,
Mataji?
yes, please try to do it now. No, after that we can start the
Okay, Mataji.
and give the instructions also, necessary instructions also. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. We can give the instructions and we can start the class.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, just a sec. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, first of all, you all have to complete level 3, I mean level 2, and the quizzes of level 2 plus the quizzes of level 1, because you have to attach both of the certificates of those level 1 and level 2 into this form. And you must, there are some prerequisites to it also, that you have to at least chant 4 rounds of Mahamantra, and vegetarian food consumption is necessary. You should not eat like meat or anything like that. And this course consists of 3 books. First one is Nectar of Instructions. Second one is Sri Ishopnishad. Third one is Nectar of Devotion. And all of this goes into a cyclic manner. For example, if some of the devotees cannot register it to the level 3 right now, and if they do it later, so that whatever the chapters were remaining, so they'll go into the cyclic manner. For example, the teacher will again start from the first chapter, from the very first chapter of that book, so you won't miss any of the chapters. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Okay. Okay. Before proceeding, I congratulate one and all who are there. Successfully are completing this level 2 course. So big congrats and big haribol to all of you. So hope your spiritual journey go ahead with more seriousness as you're all going into the level 3. So as instructed by Shashank Prabhu, please follow this instructions which have been put in the message box and try to fill up the form after you complete your quiz, and best of luck for your level 3. Okay, Hare Krishna. It's a beautiful journey reading the Ishopanishad, NOI and NOD. So the level of bhakti rasa deepens more when we read that books. Okay, Hare Krishna. So we'll start with a prayer. So Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Katamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्तादेशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरिहराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः हरिहराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय गोविंदाय नमः श्री कृष्ण हरि बोल गोपाल हरि बोल राधा रमण गोविंद हरि बोल श्री कृष्ण हरि बोल गोपाल हरि बोल राधा रमण गोविंद हरि बोल जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय पंचतत्वा पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल. So welcome you all to the level 2 class of Bhagavad Gita, and today we are going to know and learn about chapter number 18, that is perfection of renunciation. So 18th chapter is nothing but a compilation of all the chapters from starting from chapter 1. Okay, so Shri Shri Radha Govind ki Jai. So yesterday's chapter, what we have discussed is about the mode in which we are determines our activities, faith, and worship in the and for the progress, and food in three different modes, sacrifice in three different modes, austerities in three different modes, and charity in three different modes. Okay, so the conclusion is that we have to do service towards the Lord Vishnu. Om is Vishnu. That is not expecting anything out of return and surrendering all our what do you say, the activities onto the Lord, ultimately getting the renunciation. So in the present chapter, these are the following verses from 18.1 to 78. Okay, acting, the first one is acting with a detachment is a true renunciation, like how Arjuna did in Kurukshetra war, and brings freedoms from the reaction. Second is 13 to 18 is the conclusion of Sankhya and the Vedanta philosophy. Acting directed by the super soul brings freedom from the reaction, because somebody is directing you, so you are free from any sort of a contamination, and you don't have any, whether it's right or wrong, the ultimate super soul who is going to take the responsibility of that. 19 to 40 is about the entanglements of the three modes of material nature. 41 to 48 is worshipping the Lord through one's occupational work is a true renunciation, brings freedom from reaction. And 49 to 55 is from Jnana Yoga to the pure devotional service. And Next 56 to 60 is working in pure devotion service. 61 to 63 is surrendered to the super soul. And 64 to 66 is the most confidential knowledge of all, that is becoming a pure devotee of a Krishna. Okay, so last is the preaching and studying of Bhagavad Gita. And at the finally 71 to 78, Arjuna's faith is confirmed, firmly fixed in this, and he wanted to progress further in the bhakti. Okay. Next. So first 6 chapters are called the Karma Yoga chapters, because in this Lord Krishna will be elaborating only about the type of karmas. Acting with a detachment is a true renunciation, brings a freedom from the reaction. The true sannyasi does not renounce his activity, but he renounces the fruit of his actions. So here how Arjuna has renounced his work and done as a service towards the Lord. Similarly, we should also go on similar lines. Renouncing one's prescribed duties in illusion is ignorance. Renouncing one's prescribed duties out of fear is passion. And but dutifully performing one's prescribed duty with a detachment is renunciation and goodness. Such a renouncer suffers no reaction. Okay, Hare Krishna. Manoj Prabhu, are you there today? You are not there in between?
Yeah, sorry, Mataji, I was traveling, so I cannot join.
Yeah.
Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvamicchami Neditum Yagasya Traspishikesa Ritakesina Sudana.
Yes, somebody else can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Arjuna said,
Mataji, shall I?
You can read next, Mata.
Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, Tyaga, and of the renounced order of life, sannyasi, O killer of the Kesi demon, master of the senses. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So here Tyaga, that means sacrifice in a renounced order. What it is, like we will come to know. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamyanam Karmananyasam Sannyasam Tavayoviduhu Sarva Karma Phalathyagam Rahusthyagam Vichaksanaha.
Yes, Mataji. Saheli Mataji, you wanted to read, no?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji. Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
The Supreme Lord said to give up the results of all activities is called renunciation, Tyaga, by the wise. And that state is also is called the renounced order of life, sannyasa learned by great learned men.
Okay.
Hare Krishna
So,
Mataji.
yeah, sticking on to our work and not expecting any result, doing as it as a service towards the Lord and giving the result to the Lord. So, this should be our course of action. Okay. So, nowadays it's very difficult because many people, they just click and post it in a social media, but we should not do it. We should do as if as a service towards the Lord. Like how a mother does to a child, you know, she never poses any picture and click and she'll post it in the social media saying that I did this to my child today. I fed him, I give him a bath. So like that. So she don't advertise her activities, isn't it? So unconditionally she'll do her service. Similarly, we should do our prescribed duties unconditionally as a service towards the Lord. Some learned men declared that all kind of fruitive activities should be given. But there are yet another sages who maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, penance should never be abandoned. But the second line is all about the impersonal bhakti, but we are not concerned about it. So we stick on to the first one, that we'll all do the fruitive activities as a service towards the Lord. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Yajna Dana Tapa Karma Natyajya कार्यम् एव तत् यज्ञदानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्.
Acts
Hare
of
Krishna Mataji.
sacrifice. Yes, Prabhu, you can continue.
Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, this this we have discussed in the yesterday's class, isn't it? The sacrifice in mode of a goodness, charity in the mode of goodness. So that has to be done, and it has to be performed as a service towards the Lord and should never be given up because that purifies the soul. Okay.
18.6. एतानि अपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानि इति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतम् उत्तमम्.
Yes, Praveen Prabhu, you can continue reading the translations.
All these activities should be performed without any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. O son of Pritha, that is my final opinion. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Can somebody please explain what we are able to see in this picture?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So there is a sheep that was drowning, and this man, without expecting any result or any consequences, he was just doing his duty, saving that sheep. Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Two men are risking their life to save the animal, isn't it? So, generally they say, no, okay, what happens? It's an animal, it can wash away in the water and all. So there is a life risk for both of them. The person who is saving an animal as well as the person who is rescuing the other person also. But despite that, they are risking their lives and saving the great soul there. So that should be our dedication towards the work what we are doing in day-to-day life. Yes, Prabhu?
नियतस्य तु संन्यास कर्मणो न पपद्यते महातस्य परित्यागस् तामस परितृप्तितः.
Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So whatever the duty is prescribed for us, say suppose if you are a teacher, you should do your teaching job. If you are a lawyer, you should do it. If you are a chemist, you should do your job. So whatever the profession we take up, that we have to do it. So we should not give up on our duty. That if you are doing so, then we are said to be in the mode of ignorance. Okay. But he who performs his prescribed duty only because it's taught to be done and renounce all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is of the nature of the goodness. Oh, Arjuna. Okay. So this is just a tabular form. The particular sloka is 18.7, 8 and 9. So if you're not doing your prescribed duties, the reason under illusion, then it's said to be in ignorance. Because of fear, if you're not doing your duties, then it is said to be in the mode of a passion. But if you are doing your prescribed duties as a duty, then you are said to be in a mode of a goodness. So Arjuna has moved forward from 18.7 to 18.8 to 18.9, isn't it? Hare Krishna. Anybody can say, because you have attended all the classes, how he has progressed, how his mood has changed from the 18.7 to 18.9, like from ignorance to goodness. Hare Krishna. Anybody? In the first chapter, was he willing to go for the war?
No, Mataji.
Yeah, he says like whatever the untoward things are happening is because of me. If I'm going to kill these men, Varna Shankara, and I'm the cause for all those things, all women will be contaminated, society is contaminated. So it's because of me, everything is going to be in vain. So I don't want to go for the war. So totally, or some amount of ignorance is there, right? So, in the coming chapters, second chapter and little bit in other chapters also, he was fearing to kill his own people, because how can he kill his grandfather Bhishma? How can he kill his teacher Drona? And he's identifying them through the physical bodies, isn't it all? So then he is said to be in the mode of a passion. So, but after when we are progress to further chapters, then he has understood that he is just an instrument in the hand of a God, and he is doing his duty as directed by the Lord. So he understood that he has moved from the ignorance to the mode of a goodness, isn't it? So likewise, whatever the prescribed duty which is assigned for us in our day-to-day activity, we should try to move on from the different modes. If you are in goodness, that's well and good. But if you are there in other modes, we have to make a comparison with that of Arjuna and try to push ourselves to come into the mode of a goodness. Okay. Hare Krishna, I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Symptoms of proper renunciation. One who is in the mode of goodness. Intelligent renouncer, neither hateful of auspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, which means one does not hate anyone or anything that troubles his body, works in proper place at proper time, without fearing the troublesome effects. Third, has no doubts about work. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So basically, he's fearless and he does whatever the work which has been assigned to him or her as a matter of a duty. Okay. So this is the wheel of the rebirth, carrying the soul through different species of life. And for the one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, occur after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such results to suffer or enjoy. Okay. So intelligent renouncers situated in the mode of a goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about the work. They focus only on doing their work. Okay. So that's about the first section. That is next we'll move on to the next section. That is the conclusion of Sankhya and Vedanta. Actions directed by the super soul bring freedom from reaction. So Krishna cites Vedanta and analyzes activities as comprised of 5 factors. This is to help us perform activities without becoming bound. Okay, most prominent of these factors is the super soul. Acting under the super soul direction, one is unaffected by the reaction to his. Okay. So, mighty Arjuna, let me learn from me of the 5 factors which brings about the accomplishment of all the actions. These are declared in Sankhya philosophy to be the place of action, the performer, the senses, the endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. Okay, so yes, Prabhu.
10.15 शरीरवान् मनोवीर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
18.16 Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So if we think we are the source for all the actions and all, then we are mistaken. We should not do that. All the sense organs, the motor organs and false ego, mind, everything is absorbed onto the Krishna, then our the way of thinking changes, you know. So if we are totally absorbed in such a devotional service, then we can see the things as they are without any illusion. Okay. So whatever right or wrong action a man performed by these three, the subtle body, that is a mind, speech, and the false ego, and along with other pancha bhuta. Okay, it's the same thing. Once we are trapped in that, you know, then we think that we are the doers and we take credit for all the work, and we think only because of I can do it. So we are under illusion, and our false ego will take a upper hand, and it will make us think differently. Okay, so which is again against this scriptural injunctions, and what is right is work done in terms of prescribed scriptural direction is whatever is prescribed dharma for us, we are doing it as, and we are not expecting any results also out of it. So that is said to be a real dharma. If you remember 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where we have studied 4 types of renunciation. What are those? Anybody remember? First, you have to do service towards the Lord. If not, renounce
The
the...
mind, Mataji. Renounce the mind.
Okay. First is to do service towards the Lord. If you're not able to do that, at least read the scriptures. If you're not able to do that, then renounce the work or the results of your work towards the Lord. If not in full, at least in partial. If not that, at least you should do some service, some amount of activities, you know, like any services, like starting from sweeping, cleaning, prasad distribution to book distribution to any sort of service which are engaged in a devotional service. Okay. So that are said to be in the mode of goodness and religious as per the directions of the Lord. Okay. The summary of the yoga ladder, which we have completed in our initial chapters. Karma, modes, control activities, sakama to nishkama karma yoga, nishkama to liberation, the devotion service, working in pure devotion service, more confidential knowledge, surrender to super soul, most confidential knowledge, that is become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. Okay. So this particular section involves the modes, control all activities, that is one's work according to the 5 factors dictated by the 3 modes of material nature, Sattva, Raja, and Tamo Guna. This includes one's action, knowledge, performance, understanding, determination, and happiness. All activities within this universe are thus controlled by the 3 modes of material nature. Okay. This is... The knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all existence, undivided is divided, is knowledge in the mode of a goodness. So some amount of what do you say? Every entity will have a soul within. That is the element of again the super soul. A learned Brahmana will see all in a equal way. Okay. The knowledge by which a different type of living being entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies is said to be the mode of a passion. That they differentiate. You are a certain species, you are a certain species, I am a human being, you know, so that is said to be the mode of a passion. And the knowledge by which one is attached to the one kind of work as the all in all without knowledge of the truth and which is very meager is said to be the mode of a darkness. Okay, so attached to our work is not prescribed in our duties. Ideally, we should renounce the work. Okay. Next is 3 kinds of actions based on the modes of material nature. Okay. Sattva, Raja, and Tamoguna. Okay, as far as the actions is concerned, the action in according to one's duty which is performed, let's say suppose a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and a Shudra in a renounce order by renunciating the fruits of action, then it is said to be the mode of a goodness. Next, or the one who is acting with attachment to it, he is under the effect of a false ego, is said to be the mode of passion. And the one who act totally unrelated to the scriptural injunctions and act according to his whims and fantasy, and he is inflicting injury and impractical most of the time, then thus action is said to be in the mode of a ignorance. So similarly, three kinds of workers based on the modes of material nature. Again, a worker who is free from all material entanglements is said to be in the mode of a goodness, and he neither bothers whether it's a success or a failure, but he is contented to do with this worker. Next is the worker who is attached to the fruits of his labor and who passionately wants to enjoy them, and that he wanted to plant a tree and he wanted to eat the mangoes also of it. So like that person is said to be in the mode of a passion. And the other worker is that is lazy and yeah, so totally opposite to what a person who is staying in the mode of a goodness. So always procrastinating and morose, lazy, whatnot, everything. So such a worker is said to be the mode of a ignorance. Again, here three kinds of intelligence which are been described. O son of Pritha, the understanding by which one knows ought to be done, what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating. This understanding is established in the mode of a goodness. So one thing has a differentiation between what is right and wrong and what is right action, what is action, inaction, and a forbidden action. If we have that clarity and he's acting according, then he's set in the mode of a goodness. Then the person who cannot distinguish the religious way of doing and irreligious way of doing, then and some amount of activities does, but little bit of imperfections are there. Such a person is said to be in the mode of a passion. The other person totally out of scriptural injunctions and he does on his own. So that is what do you say? Then such a person is said to be in the mode of a ignorance. So three types of determination based on the modes of material nature. Okay, what are those? O son of Pritha, the determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained by steadfastness and by yoga practice, thus controls the mind, life, and acts of senses, is in the mode of a goodness. And the one which hold fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification, that is said to be the mode of passion. And determinations, what they something daydreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, all those things with unintelligent determination said to be the mode of a darkness. Like this, I can say example. First is Arjuna. Second one is again Ashwadama. Third is Ashwadama. Also, we can say enjoy the results. Yes. And last is again the Duryodhana. Examples. So different kinds of happiness based on modes of material nature. That which in the beginning may be just like a poison, but at the end it is like a nectar, and which awakens ones to self-realization is said to be in the mode of a happiness. Yes, and the person derive the contact of senses with their objects and which appears like a nectar at first, poison at the end are said to be in the mode of passion. Okay, and some people are blind to self-realization, always under delusion. Such people are said to be in the mode of ignorance. Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
18.14. न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा गुणः सत्त्वं प्रकृतिते मुक्तं यद्देवी स्यात् त्रिभिः गुणैः.
There is no being existing either here or among the demigods and the higher planetary systems which is freed from these three modes born of material nature. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna. So not only in the planet Earth, the above higher planets and the below planets, everybody is in the spell of this or controlled by these three modes of material nature. So we take many examples of Indra. Okay, so Lord Brahma. So many things they do, many such activities. So anybody remembers one act of Indra where he'll be punished? One example.
Govardhan Parvat Mataji.
Yes. So nobody is spared from this material nature. I mean to say, he feels so jealous towards Lord Krishna. Okay, and he has to pay for it, isn't it? Okay, yeah. Next is summary of yoga. I think this we have completed, no? Okay. Sakama to Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay. Freedom from reaction by occupational work. Okay. Yeah. Karma moves control all activities. Sakama to Nishkama Karma Yoga. Nishkama through liberation, then devotion service, working in pure devotion service. More confidential knowledge, surrender to super soul, and most confidential knowledge that is becoming a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. Okay, so all work is controlled by the modes, yet one can become free as a reaction of work, acting as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, and Nishkama Karma Yoga. While worshipping the Lord through that work, this work, even if faultily done, is better than accepting another's occupation. Prescribed duties are never affected by the sinful reaction. So do our work perfectly or maybe imperfectly rather than doing other works perfectly. So 4 kind of ashrama based on a material nature. I think I made people read one purport from the Srimad Bhagavatam also. So what are the 4 ashramas? 4 varnas.
Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya Mataji.
What are the 4 ashramas?
Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprahastha, and Sannyasa Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Okay. Yes, Manoj Prabhu.
Samadama tapashocham shanti arjavam evacha nanam vignanam astikyam karma karma svabhavajam.
Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work.
18.44.
Hmm.
Isi इसमें कोई बात कृषि
Yes.
गोरक्षम वाणिज्यम वैश्य कर्म भोजम परिचार्यात्मकम कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम.
Farming, cattle raising, and business are the qualities of work of the Vaishyas, and for the Shudras, there is labor and service to others. Hare Krishna. Mother.
Hare Krishna. So 18.42 describes the qualities of a people in the mode of a goodness, and 44 it describes the varnas and their occupation. Okay. Oh, sorry, I don't know, some problem. Yeah. Sauryam tejodite dakshyam yuddhe chapi apalayam danam ishvara bhavascha shatram karma svabhavajam. So again, here heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in the battle, generosity, and leadership are the qualities of the work of the Kshatriyas. So different varnas and their occupation duties have been described. Yes, Prabhu.
स्वस्य कर्मणि अभितता संसिद्धिं भवति नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु.
By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think this is self-explanatory. I need not explain. Yes, Prabhu.
यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तम् अभिचार्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः.
By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all benign and who is all pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So by worshipping the Lord and by following their bhajna and uh, their respective occupation, So it is something like without expecting any results, it is doing service towards the Lord. So by which one can attain the perfection. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
श्रेयं स्वधर्म विगुणः परधर्मा स्व अनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म पूर्वं नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Prescribed duties according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So what does this picture depicts?
Who will
shows,
climb the tree first, Mataji? I think so.
Okay.
Means birds can easily fly, monkeys can easily climb, penguin they can't, Mataji. It is like hefty and all. Fish, elephant, no. The only three animals can climb the tree, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
this shows that if you make an effort, you can climb the tree.
Prabhu, how it is possible? How a fish can climb a tree?
No, fish won't climb a tree, but others who can make an effort to climb it.
No, Prabhu. How it is possible? Seal cannot do it. A dog cannot climb the tree. Even cannot climb the tree, even if the effort they put. Elephant also, if it tries and it will break one of the branches, maybe the tree also.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, this picture depicts that it is better to do like to engage in a duty according to our own occupation. In a sense that it makes sense if a monkey climbs a tree, but it does not make sense if a fish tries to climb a tree. So in a nutshell, one should do his duties that has been prescribed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, it is like giving work to same work to people who do not belong to the same category. It is like you are asking different category people to compete for one particular work which others are not specialized.
Yes, Mataji. For you, I think I can say for the same category of the post and same category of work also, we will not get the same skilled people, isn't it? So we need to identify their plus points, positive points, and we have to work on it and ignore in the sense minimize the negative things. So say suppose if I'll just tell you my own hospital example, my own staff. Okay, some people are very good in all-rounders. They can do any sort of work if I give it to them. But some people are there who are good in only their particular restrictive area. So I give them only that sort of a work. I don't expect them to do the all-rounder work. Okay. So likewise, certain people have got certain plus points. I assign them the work according to that. I don't expect them to be an all-rounder. Okay. So that is said to be, I feel that is giving a fair amount of exposure for them to excel in in their capacities. Okay. So this particular picture depicts that it is first of all not a fair play. Why? Because it should be something which all of these people can do with a ease. Something like breathing, which all these living entities can do. Eating, that all these people can do. You can put a competition in that, but not like a climbing the trees, because some are on what do you say? Because of what do you say? Some animals are good at climbing, some are good at swimming, some are good at running. So it is not an equal competition. Okay. So likewise, so one should always try to do the work, their own swadharma, than trying to do the other dharmas perfectly. A fish, if it can swim properly in the water, it is doing a perfect job. It need not climb a tree. Okay. Similarly, a monkey, if it is climbing, then it is done. It need not swim in the water. So respectively for all these people. So that should not be a uniform platform. If it is a uniform, it should be like a common things, but not like a special characteristics of each individual this thing. So likewise, even in the persons also, according to one's ability, they should able to do their work rather than trying to do the others' work perfectly. Okay. Like a doctor should do the work treating a patient, not trying to build a bridges or doing a software development or something like that. So that will be a disaster. Similarly, the vice versa. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Next.
18.48. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham vinajjade sarvaram ahi doshena lumena iva pritaha.
Just as fire is covered by smoke, therefore one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, um, so there may be some lag in our achievements and the work and all, but you should not give up it. You should continuously try to excel in that without expecting anything in return. Okay. Coming to the next section is once practicing Nishkama Karma Yoga, detached work, attains goodness and knowledge that he is not his body. He finally attains the Brahman platform by serving Krishna on his platform with the devotion. One reaches the kingdom of the God. Okay. So from Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga, that is first to 6 chapters. Who can engage in Jnana Yoga, who is self-controlled, completely unattached, and can engage in Jnana Yoga, practicing renunciation. The result is that one can attain the highest perfection state of freedom from the reaction. So it becomes easy one to progress further in the bhakti. So how to achieve supreme perfection, Brahmabhuta platform, and the peaceful stage. So that is inner stage. Okay. Uh, yeah. Living in a secluded place, eat little and control his body, mind, and power of speech, freedom from all bad qualities, born out of material conception, false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, greed, and anger, material acceptance, false proprietorship, always in the trance, detached, thus achieve supreme peace, controlling the mind with a determination, purified by intelligence, giving up sense objects, freedom from attachment and hatred, analogy for peace is a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that either that enter like a river into the ocean is never being filled but is always still. Okay, that is a Brahmabhuta stage. This is one example, but uh, the entities which have been there is easier in Krishna sadhana, okay? Because automatically, the moment you get up in the morning, the mind says, come and take bath, attend Mangalarti, do the chanting, have the Krishna prasadam, do your work, come back again, do the service to the Lord. So all these things are automatical. Now we are working, but we are in a meditative mode. But whereas people are practicing impersonal bhakti, they voluntarily have to control their senses to do these, all those things, which is not required. Okay, so by engaging ourselves in the Krishna Bhakti, automatically we attain this Brahmabhuta stage. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
18.54. Brahmabhuta prasannatma no sachate kanchati sama sarveshu bhuteshu vadbhaktim lavati param.
It at once realizes the Supreme Brahman. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Here you can see a learned Brahmana who can see the super soul in all living entity, whether it's a dog, whether it's a hog, whether it's a fish, whether a bird or animal or lion or tiger or a chandala, anybody. So that should be the equal vision towards all living entity, because every living entity has been created by the Lord. Okay. So Brahmabhuta stage is one who is transcendently situated, Prasannatma, fully joyful, always joyful. Na sochati na kankshati, never laments or desire to have anything. Somehow sarveshu bhutes, equally disposed towards every living entity. Madbhakta labhate param. Then one attains pure devotion service unto me. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावन् यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशति तदनन्तरम्.
One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service, and when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord, by such devotion he can enter into the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, one who is totally absorbed in service of the Lord, as we have discussed in the previous slides, so then it's easy for him to enter the kingdom of the God. Okay. So, next is the perfection of renunciation discussion. In the purport is how one's devotion service begins with achieving Brahmabhuta stage by hearing from the Lord through the scriptures. What is the effect of hearing is Brahmabhuta stage develop, material contamination decreases, one can understand the Supreme Lord. Okay, Krishna and his plenary portions cannot be understood by mental speculation or by the non-devotees. It is understood only by the devotees. Erudite scholarship or mental speculation are absolute. University degrees fail to reveal the absolute truth about the Lord. Okay, pure devotion service is the only way by which we can know about the Lord. And who is eligible to enter Lord about is one who is fully conversant with the signs of a Krishna. Okay. Working in pure devotion service, one on the platform of devotion should work under the order of Lord, fully depending on him, like how Arjuna has worked here, and being fully conscious of him, and one will thus be free from the control of the material, three modes of material nature. Okay. So Lord's protection, how it is there, you can see the devotees seriously engaged in doing Mangalarti, doing the Mridanga, chanting, Nagar Sankirtana. Okay, so automatically they are totally absorbed in service of the Lord. It becomes easy for them to enter the kingdom of the God. Okay, I personally protect my devotees from all reactions and lead him directly to my supreme abode. Thou engage in all kind of activities. My pure devotee is always under my protection. He reaches the eternal abode by my grace. So what is the nature or quality of service? No time limit for the pure devotees. Always 24 hours engaged in service of the Lord. Nature of the abode unchangeable, eternal, imperishable, and full of Krishna service. The significance of Madhyapa, what is it? Madhyapa Shrayechu means under the protection of the Lord. How does this protection? That's several examples in our literature like Draupadi, Kunti Maharani, Gajendra Moksha, and Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, Chitraketu. So many examples are there where Lord has protected his devotees. So devotees moods. Sorry, these are the various examples which I have told you. So a devotee's modes of dependence in all activity just depends on me. Work always under my protection. In such devotion service, be fully conscious of me. Okay. So Lord is always there to protect his devotees. Yes, Prabhu.
अचित्त सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्पर प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्त्वम् अहङ्कारान् न शोषसि विनक्ष्यसि.
If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditional life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we have to first of all take shelter of spiritual master, follow all the scriptural injunctions, and then automatically we will be free from all this false ego and all. So in that way, we can free ourselves from this obstacles and all. Otherwise, we'll be entangled by in all these things. Okay. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all obstacles of a conditions life by my grace. Otherwise, you'll be found lost in the material world. Again, you have to take birth in the cycle of birth and death. Okay, Krishna consciousness is free from all anxiety, not unduly anxious, but executing the devotees of his existence. Krishna becomes his friend and looks after his comfort. Krishna conscious person is liberated and free to act because everything is prompted by Krishna from within and confirmed by spiritual master. Otherwise, conditioned soul is always under the strict material laws. Okay. Yes, I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Shall I read, Mataji? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes.
Renunciation. Acting under Krishna or illusion. Arjuna is Kshatriya and his duty is to fight for dharma. Even if he avoids to fight, the modes will force him to fight. If you do not fight according to my some letters are overlapping in fight.
Directions and not
And not fight then you will be directed by your nature. You will have to engage.
Then you'll be falsely directed by your nature.
Then you will be falsely directed by your nature. You will have to engage to warfare. Next, Arjuna, what is the example of acting according to nature? Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, has natural duty to fight. Why refusal to fight was under false ego? Because he was fearing that by killing his relatives, he would incur sinful reactions. What is the forgetfulness of conditioned soul? Forgets the relationship with SPOG and as himself as his master of his overlapping Mataji words.
Yes, actions. SPOG is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mataji.
Oh, Supreme Personality of Godhead and considers himself as the master of his emotions.
Okay. Is it emotions or actions?
It's actions, Mataji.
Actions. Yeah.
For me, letters are, I am seeing the phone, letters are
Okay.
getting more.
Okay, Mataji. So conclusion is that unhesitatingly execute the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead that will keep one safe under all circumstances. Okay. Do work for that. Okay. That is the ultimate thing. So if you do not follow my orders, definitely it is directionless, If we know the roadmap and we are going for a particular destination, we'll reach there. But if we go as per our vision, or definitely we will not reach the destination. So it's always good that we go in a regulated way by having a controlled emotion, controlled senses and all, then it becomes easy for us to achieve our goal, that is going back to our Godhead. Anyone who voluntarily engage himself on the direction of Supreme Lord become glorious. Anyone who refuses to act so, he gets compelled to act by the modes of a material nature, because Maya Devi is next readily available to entrap you in all this three different modes and suffering. So it's always better to save ourselves is to build up a immunity, spiritual immunity, by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Okay. The more confidential knowledge, surrender to the super soul, more confidential knowledge, and the knowledge that one is spirit soul is the knowledge, and that one should surrender the super soul. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridye Arjuna tishtati brahmanya sarva bhutani yantra udhani maya yaya.
The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Hare Krishna Mate.
Hare Krishna. So Supreme Lord is there in each and every living entity. Okay. We just need to make an effort to bring it back to the original state by which we have come to this material world. Okay. So yeah.
Tameva saranam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata Taprasādat param santim sthanam prapsyasi sasvatam.
O Scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So that is possible only by surrendering onto him. Okay.
Iti te gnanam ajñātam guhyataram maya.
Thus I have explained to you the most confidential of all knowledge. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do.
So Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, I have now explained everything in detail. What are three different modes? What are the actions? How an intelligent man work? And what is said to be a pure Shuddha Sattva Guna? Everything. Now I think required knowledge I have given you. Now it is up to you, Arjuna. Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. So summary is the most confidential knowledge. So Krishna will really reveal the supreme instruction. What is the most confidential knowledge is Guhya is confidential knowledge about the Brahman. Guhyatara is the most confidential knowledge of the super soul. And Guhyatamam, that is most confidential knowledge just to surrender to the supreme personality of the Godhead. Okay, the Brahman, Paramatma as well as the Bhagavan stage. Okay, automatically when you surrender onto the Lord, taking the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, read the scriptural injunctions regularly, then you can cultivate the required knowledge to know about the Lord, then automatically you will fully surrender onto the Krishna.
18.65. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyadhimam namaskuru alaisasi satyamti pratijane piyosine.
Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So once we are totally absorbed onto the Lord, automatically he will be totally absorbed in his service. Then once we have taken the destination, we will go back to him. Okay, and such a devotee is very dear to Lord Krishna.
18.66. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo akshayishyami ma shutah.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Hare Krishna.
So such a soul is liberated, because he's totally absorbed and surrender onto the Lord. So here we have a confidential knowledge, that is knowledge about the Brahman, more confidential knowledge about the Paramatma, the super soul. And the most confidential knowledge is that we have to surrender onto Krishna and offer the devotion service to the Lord. Okay.
Idam te nata pashyasya navatyaya padajana nastasusuvai vakyam nachamahya yasuyati.
This confidential knowledge may not be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, not to one who is envious of me. Hare
So
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This I can give an example, after doing MBBS, in medicine, only those people are eligible to do the internship, not the first years or second years. Similarly, a person who is sincere in his, is not envious, totally absorbed and engaged in devotion service of the Lord is eligible to enter the kingdom of the God. Okay. So a person who is not qualified or who is not following any of this is not eligible to enter the kingdom of the God. Yeah. Why different people envy Krishna? Because he is a supreme person and nothing is above or equal to him. Who should not try to comment on Bhagavad Gita? The envious people, faithless, and those without understanding of Krishna from a authority of the pure devotee. Okay. So people who are not totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness, they try to comment or they don't know unless it is something like theory versus practicals, theory is different and practical is different. Unless one does the practical course of Krishna consciousness, they cannot know about it. And only such devotee who are totally absorbed and engaged in the service only can say about the Krishna. But people who don't have a knowledge cannot say anything about him. Okay. Yes.
यैदं परमं गुह्यं मदक्षे अभिसाधास्यति भक्तिं मयि परां तिक्त्वा मां वैष्यति असंशया. For one who explains the
supreme secret to the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See, if you are taking up a course, after reading it for certain time or strictly preparing everything on that course, definitely we are going to win over it, isn't it? Similarly, this also, the devotion service also is the same. Okay.
न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मेति यत्पित्तमः भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्याभ्यतरो भुवि.
There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Hare Krishna.
Only devotees who surrender unto the Lord are more dear to him. Okay.
अजिष्यति च इमां धर्म्यं सम्मादम् अव्ययः ज्ञानत्यज्ञेन तिनाहम् इष्टास्यामि मे मतिः.
And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation worships me by his intelligence. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So whosoever understand, first of all, a person is attending or at least holding a Bhagavad Gita, and it's all Krishna's mercy that begins from there. And a person who is reading and knowing the knowledge about it, then he is even more, he or she is even more advanced devotee. Okay. So Lord is saying, whoever studies this sacred conversation between Arjuna and Krishna, definitely worship me by this intelligent. Okay.
श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयात् अपि य नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शिवलोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्.
And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reaction and attains to the planets where the pious dwell. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so one who listens without any envy, definitely they are freed and they are liberated, Okay. Arjuna's, now he is firmly fixed, like what all Krishna has told him in all these 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Now at the end he is saying, Arjuna uvacha nashto mohas pratilabdha Tvatprasadanmayachyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy, and I am now firm and free from the doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instruction. This is the complete surrender unto the Lord. So these are the Arjuna's realization. Tvat prasadat, by your mercy, my illusion is now gone, regain my memory, and now I am firm and free from doubt, prepared to act according to your instructions. So Sanjaya's predictions in the end. So Sanjay is saying, thus I have read the conversation between the great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is the message that my hand is staring, that my hair is standing on end. By the mercy of Vyasadeva, I could envision all this, the most confidential talks which are happening between the master of all mysticism, that is Krishna, who is personally speaking to Arjuna. So, O King, as I repeatedly recall this wonderful, a holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at the moment. Okay. So, O King, when I remember that the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with a great wonder and I rejoice again and again. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sthir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvani Tirma Tirmama. So whenever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever There is Arjuna, the supreme archer. There will also be certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. So this is my opinion. So this is the summary of 18th chapter. Acting with a detachment is the tree renunciation and brings freedom from reaction. The conclusion of Sankhya and Vedanta philosophy, action directed by Supersoul, bring freedom from the reaction. Then entanglements of three different modes that we have studied in details. And worship Lord through the one's occupational work. Here we have discussed about the Varnashrama Dharma and the occupational work and how we have to act in that. From Jnana Yoga to pure devotion service. In the pure devotion service also, different modes like doing service towards the Lord, reading the scriptures, renouncing your results, or at least doing any sort of service towards the Lord. So ultimately, we have to surrender onto the Supreme Soul, always thinking about Him, absorbed onto Him. Then He will give us the required knowledge by which we can attain the Brahma Buddha stage. Then our faith is fixed and we constantly do the Shravanam, follow the regulatory principles and do the regular chanting and absorb in doing service up to the Krishna. Then a periodic and a regular reading of Gita and other scriptures will make us more purer from inside and pave a way towards the Shuddha Sattva Guna and become a pure devotee like how Arjuna has become and help us to relieve or liberate from this material entanglements. So at the end, Arjuna is firmly fixed in what all Lord Krishna has told him in the past 18 chapters. Now he says, now he is ready to act upon the Lord Krishna's directions. So at the end, Sanjay, I conclude by saying, I got this great opportunity by the mercy of Vyasadeva, who has envisioned me to see everything sitting at one place and I could explain all the secret as well as the most confidential talk which is happening between the great super soul that is like Krishna and the great soul like Arjuna. Whenever there is Arjuna, that is the super soul and the soul who are the pure devotees of the Lord. Such a combination always going to be is going to give you a good result and all. So I'm so fortunate enough to vision this. So he expresses happiness and conclude by saying so. Okay. This is all about 18th chapter. Hare Krishna. Any doubts? I think I have concluded in one day. Mostly I will not be available from next week. That is the reason why I'm rushing to complete it. Sorry for finishing off early. Hare Krishna. Any doubt?
It was very nice. You
Thank
explained
you.
very well.
Thank you, Prabhu. I just tried. Krishna.
Hare
Nice
Krishna
class,
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Krishna. Any realization anybody wanted to share?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Any realizations after attending the class? What were your progress before joining the level 2 class and after completing the level 2 class? Is there any progress? Anything is of help
Yes.
to you?
Yeah, we should live a life, even though we are in this material world, we should live a life like Brahma Bhuta Prasanna. That is my realization, Mataji. Without attachment, we should advance in our spiritual journey. Along with that, we have to obey our spiritual masters orders. Whatever we say, even if he asks us to drown in the well, we have to jump into the well. That's what I have understood. He won't say that. He won't say that, but that is Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. I understood like that, Mataji. This is my understanding. And along with that, even
Yes,
material,
Mataji.